That's where we're going? Don't exactly look safe.
Moment of your time, Commander. Remember that matter on Cloister I mentioned earlier? Well, since we're here and all, thought we might take it up now. Might be hard to believe, but 20 or so odd years ago, I made a mistake. Feels like high time I righted it. Now I'm out and about again. That's where the error occurred, I believe. Others judged it such. I shut it down. Believe I was wrong to do so. For many years now, a former colleague of mine's been in a remote spot called Reasons Pass, on account of my decision. I try not to think about regret or remorse. I shut down her work. I was wrong. Stating that out loud is the furthest extent of my self-castigation. Her research was unconventional, surely. She was as well. I think with both, we could right things, get the Order back on its intended path. Of course, Commander. Weather's quite conducive for cooling the archive, and unconducive for me feeling my fingers.
Keep those eyes open, soldiers! Corneal frostbite be damned! I would have been dead 3 times over without mine.
Oh, that does set my mind. Use caution as you progress. There's been reports of ursicides in the area. Don't consume tea this morning.
Investigating hostile. If I know one thing for certain, murdering members of the Order isn't my role within the grand plan. Did you just half apologize for killing my colleagues? Look, let me make myself clear here. If we attack the Order again, I go. Order traitors, fine. The rest, I leave. For good.
Soldier, please assess your pain on a variable scale of 1 to 100. 1 being entirely pain-free, and 100 being the worst pain you can imagine.
There is far too much variability in that scale. The amount of pain I can imagine is simply an objective measure of the maximum amount of pain I could actually feel.
Your observation is correct, which is a diagnostic tool, all right? Now, if you were to using a scale
Whoa. Loath as I am to compliment the enemy, that's one damn impressive tower. Seizing that as a prize would change everything.
Hostilities are afoot.
Capacitor out.
benumbed, locking them down. Gravel claw's angry, popping my claw.
Energy capacitor out. Energy is up for grabs. That'd be Spyerton. Was once the Order's headquarters on Cloister. Afore all this.
Aggressors in range.
Analyzing. Surround disturbance detected. Source.
Huh? Better take a gander.
Combatant observed.
I'll handle this. Yeah.
Ratcheting up by aggression. Pulsificator.
Replenishing my firearm.
All charged up. Vitals are in the red, Commander.
See that bridge to the archive? It's being deconstituted by a rift, or, as the Order calls them, an algorithmically confounding anathematic anomaly.
Trouble ahead.
A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the sovereign. To do your job is a virtue. Every part is a call. Every subject ensures a glorious bounty for all. It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency. Cover.
Standing by to stupefy.
Regain sight.
Boldly striking.
Contact reestablished.
Nique ta mère.
Heads up. Rival lifelines.
There, freeze!
Hostilities are afoot.
Consider self-preservation a priority. All charged up.
Nul, espèce de maïs. Nul par grand mille.
observe.
Gotta take it.
Investigating hostile intentions.
Stun weapon ready, Commander. Readying for cover.
Invasive element.
Not possible unless you help me first. I do it for you. Standing by to stupefy. Hate to ask for help, but help?
Replenishing my firearm. Grenade, away! Hastening up. Quarry found.
Enemy moving into harm's way. Catch me up, then! I don't bring... I think...
Investigation.
Refill at that!
Nique ta mère. Nique ta mère. Nique ta mère.
Got my lamps on a hostile.
Our system is the best anyone has ever had. Perfection is perfect. Our paradigm is ironclad. Trust the plan. Preserve set progress. Sustain the system. Serve the Saga. They never questioned or doubted. Closer inspection.
Investigating hostile.
Trifling nuisance.
Better take a gander. Silver. There.
Seeking to determine origin and/or cause.
A trifling
All
nuisance.
fleets returning to patrol mode.
All right.
Disturbance detected. Source uncertain. Security level 2. Investigating.
Right. Quizzical.
Mobilizing.
Changing magazine. Efficiently and in short order. Lollygag somewhere I aim. The Protectorate endures. Seeking cover. Ostensibly, I must reload.
Society demands perfect balance. Perfection is impossible. Symmetry.
Here's the next big guy. Tightening to cover.
Bitter transfer to the guidance of our beneficent rulers.
Maintaining perfection.
Hostile in proximity.
Reloading once more. Briskly moving to cover.
They're itchy.
We are duty bound to stop them.
Torpificator at ready status. Where to go? Mitigating the threat. Torpification in progress.
Got a loose streak. Popping my claw.
Why are you?
Nique ta mère.
Proceeding to... Fortificator at ready status.
Crap, back in business.
Mitigating the threat. Taking the fight out of them.
Mobility interrupted. Mobility interrupted.
Thing's got a mean streak. Grab a fly.
Mobility interrupted. Mobility interrupted.
Reviving me is strategically optimal.
Mobility interrupted. Mobility interrupted. Mobility interrupted.
Trouble ahead.
Somebody lost?
Fortificator at ready status.
Locking them down. Torpification in progress. Enemy intercepted.
Catch me up, then we'll talk.
Mobility resume. Mobility interrupted. Mobility interrupted. Quarry. Mobility interrupted.
Replenishing my firearm. Shifting to a less exposed spot. Capacitor out. Stun weapon ready, Commander. You've suffered extensive damage, Commander. Mitigating the threat. They're benumbed. Standing by, just... Commander! Yeah.
Mobility interrupted.
Taking the fight out of them, locking them down.
Mobility interrupted.
Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can... Medic, please! Resorting to violence.
Come on out, so we might talk this over. Mess with the cause, you get the taste. Commander, you're bleeding.
Torpificator is charged.
Replenishing. Advance!
Yeah. Energy capacitor out. Energy is up for grabs. Go for torpification. Capacitor unit away. Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized. Recharge before it discharges. Torpificator is charged. Mitigating the threat. Take... Torpificator at ready status. I'll handle this.
He shall stay their ambitions.
Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it.
Clear. Let's stake our claim.
Yeah.
I understand this spot has strategic significance for the defense.
Hostilities are afoot. Commander, throwing energy your way.
Hello, Commander. Medic's orders.
We can't refuse medical support.
Back in business.
Fortification in progress. There be none. Energy capacitor.
Draft is ready, and frankly, pissed off. Hate to ask for help, but help?
Nique ta mère.
Mess with me, you get the claw. No claw. Oh.
Commander, throw... Energy capacitor out.
Help me end this fight on my feet. Back in business. for mitigating the threat.
It's energized.
Hey, get me go-getting again.
Nique ta mère.
Locking them down, taking the fight out of them.
If only we had a device for closing rifts, like the one we found on Praetor.
need to leave. This is a holy site. Non-believers are not welcome. Did you not hear me? You must leave unless you wish to be ushered into perfection before the rest of this architect-forsaken colony. I'm not accustomed to hearing such. We're usually dismissed as, well, we need not discuss that. But in regards to your entering Newton, that's just not possible. It is blocked by a rift. As I said, the only way to get inside is to offer yourself up to the rift. By being thrown into it, that is.
Nique ta mère.
What kind of primitive, superstitious fools do you take us for? Our beliefs are scientifically validated and proven by the esteemed leader themselves, who is infallible, obviously. This is a wondrous time, friend. Our name was not chosen at random. It is a glorious dawn for all humankind. The rifts are a means to achieve a perfect state of being, and they are once again active after laying relatively dormant for years. The end of our tortured existence is nigh. I don't know what to say to that. Is that good? I need guidance. Hierarch Wolcott! So, the power to manipulate rifts. That seems, let me just say I apologize if I've offended you in any way.
Did I hear something about manipulating the rifts, Acolyte? That smacks of false scientism, bordering on heresy. You should know that the rifts are inviolate perfection. And you may be able to fool an Acolyte, but I'm not as easily flummoxed. In what way can you possibly manipulate that which is the Architect's own tool for our salvation? What you must think of me, to tell me such obvious lies and not expect violent retribution. You have gravely miscalculated. Glorious dawn! Attack the interlopers, now!
On friends nearby.
Nique ta mère.
Capacitor destroyed. Free energy if you can reach it. Stun weapon ready, Commander. Proceeding to attack. Commander, throwing energy your way. Negative. Recharge incomplete. Standing by to stupefy. Unit away. Recharge before it discharges.
See if we can reach it.
Craft is ready. Frankly, pissed off.
This thing's got a mean streak. Holy crap.
Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized.
Unfriendly nearby. Craft's back in business.
Energy is up for grabs.
My aftermarket parts are prime. Charged up.
Locking them down.
nique ta mère.
Where to go?
Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it. Hostilities are afoot. Energy your way. Investigating hostile intentions. Standing by to stupefy. Rough customers of them. Capacitor unit away. Recharge before it's destroyed. I'll handle this.
My aftermarket parts are prime.
Hostile ahead. What's the placement?
There you are.
Medic, please.
Nique ta mère. Nique ta mère. Nique ta mère.
All charged up.
Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it. Standing by to stupefy.
got my lamps on a hot.
Back in business.
Down, in case you haven't noticed.
Always crap. Hostile ahead. What's the...
Thank you. Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized.
Investigating hostile intentions. Enemy in vicinity. Ready.
Reviving me is strategically optimal.
Yep. I'd do it for you.
I'll handle this. Mitigating the threat, taking the fight out of them. Commander,
Oh, sorry, not in range.
Nique ta mère.
Ça m'arrange, ce fils de pute.
Why are you gay?
To violence. Investigating hostile intentions. Trouble ahead. violence.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
Wait. The Protectorate have the entrance to the archive well fortified. Attacking straight on seems ill-advised. Before we go further, should we discuss a plan?
Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk...
Not a bad idea, though I'd also suggest garnering backup. The Order desperately want to regain control of the archive. We could offer to hand it to them later, after we process the data, in exchange for help now.
I keep telling you, Auntie's choice is right there. Cut a deal with them and you'll have their firepower in turn. You ought to consider it.
We're all in this together.
Could try that big glass dome we passed on the way here. Important Order folk ain't huddling in the cold, that's for sure.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer.
Good. Ain't nothing wrong with a tactical retreat.
Prudence dictates we reject individualism in... its many forms.
Hey, Commander. Something tells me the Order won't be keen on letting an enemy soldier walk through their gates. Reckon I oughta step away? Commander, I'm glad you're just as keen on aligning with Auntie as I am. It's the right choice. What you see is what you get. I suspect the Order would have given you the runaround on a deal. They're nice enough folk, reasonable or like, but they ain't equipped to rule. You saw how they could barely manage a refugee camp, let alone hold the archive. Sure, the folk here don't seem to trust Auntie's choice, but give it time. They'll see the difference between freedom and complete domination soon enough. Just as Tausetti did. The battles will continue, whether or not you're paying mind. If you ain't careful, you might find yourself surrounded without an ally. Listen, normally I'd take issue with one person playing Kingmaker. That is to say, you, and especially the Earth Directorate. But time's too short, and the stakes are too high for tribalism. There'll be enough time for that later. For now, we need to ally with someone who can defeat the Protectorate and close the rifts. So whatever you decide, I'll support you. We should move on, unless you've got something for me?
PTDR, t'es qui?
For that halt. The Oracle Laureate sent ahead to expect someone matching your description. However, he said nothing about admitting questionable allies. Members of Auntie's Choice are not permitted inside Laplace's garden. Your companion will have to wait outside.
Huh. If only one of us could have foreseen this situation. But I'll stay back, Commander. Ain't no reason to cause a scene.
You should heed the wisdom of your friend.
Move it!
Official rules. And his choice, we strive to be 110% holy.
Principle. Artificially enhanced existence.
Individualism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the frivolously lengthy approval process our overbearing neighbors employ. Why wait 20 years to bring a new product to market when it can be enhancing people's lives now?
As a responsible member of society, we allow you to take part in public product testing.
Don't let us keep you.
Dis-moi, tu trouves ça marrant, cette fils de pute?
Have a profitable day.
Hold that thought.
You look befuddled. Or perhaps that's just your normal expression.
If you have business here, don't let me keep you.
Team against the Protectorate's entire roster of pitchball pushovers any day of the fiscal week.
Experience the most sought-after inebriants on the
Tramicular. Arriving any moment now. Approaching station. Value-added Esplanade.
Until next time, look for me. Random executive skybox above the line of.
You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's Choice. Auntie's Choice knows that a better you is just 3 pills and an ointment away. Why choose just any choice when you could choose Auntie's Choice?
Good for what ails ye.
You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's Choice. Auntie's Choice knows that a better you is just 3 pills.
enemy moving into harm's way.
Parasite
Trust me.
identified.
Capacitor to...
Back in business.
Help you? Want something?
Scorpificator is charged.
Combat throttle.
What's over?
Ratcheting up my aggression. Yeah.
Mitigating the threat. Locking them down.
Be a good neighbor.
Gaining grab range.
At all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
Studies untoward inclinations and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
PTDR? T'es qui?
Remember, all subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul.
Our enemies envy our prosperity.
Come right in, and be refreshed.
Bet our contempt.
Are you ready to realign with the paradigm? To shed all manner of imperfect thoughts?
All it takes is some light instruction, a restorative cocktail,
And a quick dip into the lathe of particularity to abrade your imperfections.
and I guarantee when you exit out the doors,
You'll be a productive member of our perfect society again. Soon you'll say, goodbye,
imperfect thoughts, hello, contentment.
This is new. A mild euphoric, light hallucinogenic properties. Not entirely unpleasant, but kid stuff.
Greetings, subject. Or should I say, refreshed to be. Welcome to the Wellnetarium. You're not on my schedule. A walk-in, then. Wonderful. Once you're properly evaluated, we'll have you well on your way to refreshment.
This is all a mite strange, but perhaps we should play along.
Oh, you appear to have questions. A telltale sign of needing refreshment.
Prudence dictates we cherish all.
Head Refresher Gould says mental refreshment increases tractability, stifles undue agitatement, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry. I've undergone the procedure myself. Several times, they say, and look at me now. Never more content.
Is uniquely special. It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive deviser responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing.
None authorized to you. Not until completion. Now there. No need to fear evaluation. It's just a few brief fleeting questions, all perfectly harmless, I assure you. Simply step over to my automechanical colleague to my left, / your right, and it will begin your assessment.
We're refreshed, so refreshed, mentally, confess, so refreshed.
C'est marrant, ce fils de pute. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue...
Greetings, subject unscheduled. Welcome to Placid Waters Welditarium. Evaluation commencing. Subjects are required to respond 100% accurately to all queries. Bespoke prescribed regimens may produce untoward ramifications if baseline data is greater than minutely erroneous. Query 1. Concisely characterize your personal perspective.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process.
Incorrect. The accepted answer is, I fulfill my duty to the Sovereign as a loyal Protectorate subject by operating at peak efficacy, without error, perpetually. Each a vital cog. Query 2. Rate your present level of zealous efficaciousness on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, 3 being a traitor, 1 being dead.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout...
Incorrect. Wait, processing. That was correct. No subject has ever answered that query accurately before to date. The degree of zealous efficaciousness expected of a dutiful and true subject of the Protectorate is beyond measure. Query 3. Do you ever fall prey to imperfect thoughts, including, but not limited to, doubt, disbelief, uncertainty, curiosity, recalcitrance, and mischief?
Centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go now.
Unacceptable. Obsequious denial detected. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. Final query. How would your neighbors describe you?
The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
Unsatisfactory response. The appropriate reply was, they never questioned, never doubted. Their zeal never lagged. Formulating conclusion. Phrenometric matrix delineated. Subject evaluation score total 200 out of 200. The acceptable amount for a true and dutiful Protectorate subject is 0. In conclusion, you are in dire need of mental refreshment. Now, proceed to the nearby pneumatic tube to collect your complimentary unitard and lift pass. Next, proceed 1 floor down, where you will be directed further. Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Know-how behind the mental
refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
I do believe that's the first test I've ever failed.
Medicament dispensement has concluded for today. Please proceed to the lecture hall to request an exception.
Yeah.
Settle down, everyone. Lecture's playing. Prepare to be edified.
For today's topic, we'll touch on why our program is so very important. Ignorant, misguided outsiders may wonder, why does the Protectorate need mental refreshment? Doesn't it inhibit personal freedom? Yet this freedom they celebrate is a yawning chaos, and their choice is an invitation to failure, loss...
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, how mentally refreshed are you feeling today? Response, zeal, noted. With hope, our highly trained refreshment facilitators will share your promising self-diagnosis. I am responsible for providing each subject with their recommended daily dosage of reprioritrin. Medicament dispensement has concluded for the day. Response. Medicaments are stored in medicament storage, the office in which this unit presently operates. Yet, it is strictly off-limits to all non-refreshment facilitator personnel. Farewell statement. May refreshment soon render you free from doubt. A vital cog once more.
Remember, all subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul.
The kitchen pantry is presently off-limits due to anomalous structural tampering. The kitchen pantry is
possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Oh, you're new. Must be. You still retain that look of inquiry and deliberation. I'm Waylon.
Prudence dictates we rout all disruptive influences.
No, I'm newly full of zeal. That is, I hope the process took this time. They say my phrenometric peaks are resistant to abradement, but still, they try.
Placid Waters Wellnetarium, here on Praetor, is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive
A facilitator said that I'd been here thrice, but I only remember once or twice. I couldn't leave. Not yet. Haven't completed my regimen. My phrenometric peaks are still jutting all over the place, they say.
They sneer at our contentment.
May you realign with the paradigm.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward predation.
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in.
Oh, a new face. Well, I'd welcome you to the Wellnetarium, but the designated subject reader ought to have attended to that by now. Admitting you question is the first step in your recovery. But worry not. Soon enough, with our help and a little work, you'll never question again. You've missed the daily medicament dispensement, if that's what you mean. But you should take that up with the medicament dispensement automech directly. You must mean the lathe of particularity. One assumes you haven't had a session with Head Refresher Gould yet. You'll soon learn all about it, firsthand. I see you found the lecture as edifying as all the others here. Good, good. Collective cognitive compliance is a key part of the prescribed curative regimen. Head Refresher Gould provides us with daily lectures in audio cartridge form to steer group thinking. As they say, to think together is to together thrive. Upstairs in the audiovisual aids office, of course. Though that area is off limits to all subjects not a part of facility staff or security. How very interesting. Here, take my pass then. It grants access to all mid-privilege priority areas. You'll feel ever so much better once your phrenometric peaks have been abraded.
That went better than expected. So this process removes all curiosity then. I guess that's one way to keep people from questioning.
And refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
Preserve set progress. Sustain the system.
Trouble it.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Prudence dictates reach and defend.
some... Fortification in progress.
Status confirmed.
Popping my claw. The gravel claw dangling.
Commander, throwing energy your way.
Help me end this fight on my feet.
Back in bit.
Scoping out a hostile.
Preserve set progress, sustain the system, serve the sovereign. A perfect society can...
That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
We repel invasive elements. The top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
privileged access somehow. Our superiors must have arranged it.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be found, it's not just a good idea, it's the law.
Trust the plan, preserve set progress, sustain the system, serve the sovereign.
I'll handle this. Energy capacitor out. Energy is up for grabs. You'll try to limit further damage, Commander. Standing by to stupefy. Resorting to violence.
look so soft, though.
Oh, do I detect a whiff of repriorant gas? You know, I suddenly feel a mite more pliable somehow. Surely nothing to question. I thought no one was due for peak abradement for hours. I should have your chart. Wait. Wait. Ha! You're not a protectorate subject at all. You have the telltale look of wonder and introspection.
And so the scientist becomes the lab sprat. Fitting, ain't it?
Well, this is normally where you'd say something. Listen to this one. You're a hoot. Oh dear, I seem to be a little unstable at the moment. But never fear, I have intellect to spare. Don't believe me? I can prove it. Even in a state such as this, I am more than able to apply my argumentative skills against the inferior minds and bankrupt philosophies of our rivals. To what end are you here? Tell me truly. Speak plainly. You know, I'm beginning to have an inkling about your purpose here, and whose employ you're under. A proposal. Adequately debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology, and I'll provide you what you're here for. Oh, do play along now. It's so rare I meet anyone of even mild intellectual capability. That does describe you, doesn't it? There's a good sport. Do try to keep up. So, what of the Order, our former allies, those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation? What say you of them?
I believe the compliment cancels out the insult here, or vice versa. At any rate, carry on.
A clear example of a life to avoid, yes? That's what happens when you get big ideas. What say you about Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists?
It's true. Need a rival vendor dealt with? We'll repossess their wares. Need a township seized? We'll pay the guarding forces to lay down arms. If that don't work, we got firepower.
Yes, I've seen the craters left in their wake. They're quite capable as far as looting and destruction go. I'm not sure I perceive the merit in that, though. In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. People are unproductively prone to unhappiness. We remove this self-sabotaging flaw so they can fully appreciate the ample bounty we provide, free of doubt and worry. No, I haven't. And that seems a rather facile argument to make about a society that utilizes automechs to handle daily chores and labor. A low-hanging fruit, as it were. Well, admit I assumed this conversation would be more engaging. Did you have any final points you'd like to make? As a, last chance to distinguish yourself? Her opinion to me would be largely irrelevant. While I appreciate all she did, of course, there are those who are visionaries and those of us who enact vision, who make it real. All right, fair enough. In that little battle of wits, one of us proved severely outmatched, and I'm not sure you're completely aware of which of us I'm referring to. I am deeply disappointed by your lack of intellectual prowess, though ultimately I'm not wholly surprised. Suppose that leaves one last thing.
Hostilities are
We have an intruder.
We have an intruder. Resorting to violence. Capacitor deployed. Free energy of this ring. Consider self-preservation of... Investigating hostile... Pissed off.
Nique ta mère.
We don't refuse medical support. Mobilizing. Hostile in proximity. Protection in progress. Mitigating the threat. Back in business.
moving into harm's...
Proceeding to attack.
Vitals are in the red, Commander. Aggressors in range.
It is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency.
Accept no
Artificial means Atlantis choice. We strive for your 110% Artificiality is our guiding principle. Artificially enhanced existence through the Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the frivolously lengthy approval process our overbearing neighbors employ. Why wait 20 years to bring a new product to market when it can be enhancing people's lives now? As a responsible member of society, we allow you to take part in public product testing.
I see you're back from the Protectorate's little mind manipulation spa. All their secrets in hand, yes?
Our team at Proprietary Insight Acquisition has been salivating over the potential commercial applications of that process. Well, got what we needed. Sometimes a body count can't be helped.
Better in the ground than in our enemy's employ. Nice work, my ameliorator.
Now, I assume you won't mind we have a few questions about the process. Our people will extract details about the pharmacology and methodology. That will all no doubt prove useful, but we're most interested in the technology and its results. Can't say I like the sound of that. Seems like they'd be difficult to market to.
How truly unfortunate. Those without desire or drive make terrible customers. They could barely even be considered consumers at all.
What else can you tell us about the place? Turn up any additional details? Anything especially marketable? Fair enough. Here's a little something for your modicum of effort. Too bad about the lead scientist. Converting him would have earned you an above-average payout. All right. For your next assignment, well, it's something of an organizational priority.
Congratulations! Your storied success has earned you a whole entire minute with our illustrious leader, Auntie Cleo!
So your preliminary chores are complete? Oh, finally a contractor with a little backbone. Normally they flee or expire, leaving the work woefully incomplete. Ah, I remember you from before. Fairfield, yes? Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization? Yes, quite. Hopefully we'll continue to make many more, together. Do hope you'll forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees fractious, like young ursopods cooped up in the den. So, you've been advancing a fairly radical idea with a group that, to date, we've considered our rivals. Certain communications have even been exchanged between our ship and the Order's headquarters. You've spoken to the delegates, yes? A cessation of hostilities could present any number of potentially profitable options, assuming we could work out favorable terms. Oh, my security team would never allow it, but a call like this over a secure line should be an acceptable alternative. Of course, Ruth would also need to agree. Perhaps if you were to perform a few useful errands for the Order, you might earn a meeting with her to propose the same. Have Ruth reach out when she's ready to talk, and I'll set up a call on a secure line next door.
Represents the worst impulses of old corporations who unfairly stacked the deck against the well-prisoned as they tried with us at Tau Ceti.
The recipe of our exclusive cocktail is our
just like our sponsored fastball team,
Tramicular, arriving any moment now. Approaching station. Value-added Esplanade.
Auntie's choice! All things we won!
You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's choice. Auntie's choice knows that a better you is just 3 pills and an ointment away. Why choose just any choice when you could choose Auntie's choice? Too much space to fill? Try Auntie's choice pep pills. Good for one meal.
filtered tip. You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's choice. Auntie's choice knows that a better you is just 3 pills and an ointment away.
Was there ambiguity in my previous warning?
Go ahead. Tell me what ails ya. If you say so. Try not to get into too much trouble without me.
Don't cause any trouble.
Ah, Agent, I have a message for you. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant, and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding bishop Ruth Bassar, welcome to Laplace's garden. The presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop routinely spends time in a sensory deprivation chamber to hone her mental faculties. Of course, she does seem to be logging more hours in the chamber of late, but I'm certain that's all part of the plan. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding bishop is occupied. Really, it's no reason for concern. Nothing in the garden is. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. May all your problems precede solutions.
Is it just me? Or does something seem... Oh, never mind.
Agent, over here.
No admittance without the Artificer Laureate's permission.
A visitor? It's for the best that you're talking to me now instead of mid-work. I do seem to have a slight propensity for stabbing randomly with my tools when interrupted, but I suppose that's enough time spinning in the statements column. Speak away. What are you... Beckett. Another prediction that he hasn't seen fit to notify me about. A more cynical exemplar might posit his doing this to be intentional. If you're here, I imagine you aim to petition the presiding bishop for her support, which is hardly a surprise. She is the most important individual in Arcadia. Not if I cannot gauge for certain if you can be trusted. I cannot allow just anyone to wander into Ruth's quarters. But there is something you could do to prove yourself worthy. A myriad of cultists have taken over the settlement of Newton, which is a nearby site of historical but not strategic significance. I want them gone. Once there was a bridge stretching from the settlement to the archive, but it was destroyed by a rift. Best keep your distance should you travel there. From what I understand, Vicar Levin's continued existence is a mere side effect of whatever personal vendetta you happen to be attending to. I'm pleased he does not lie among the ranks of the dead. But I will need a more tangible effort on your part to trust you. I'll withhold my appreciation until this task is complete. May you act within the equation's confines. I always find I work best when undistracted. One could say I find the cultist at Newton quite the interruption to my focus. Now, how might we be of use to one another? I shall allow myself a moment of relief. Moment passed. I'd hoped killing the cultists was its own reward. But you may also take this. You've proven yourself well, but we have recently experienced a pivotally important, unforeseen development. One I must meet directly. Can I count on you? You've given me reasonable doubt that you will kill the presiding bishop on sight. But this task takes precedence over all else. If you care for the Order, you will see it through. One of the satellites comprising the Hyperion Web was struck by a wayward craft and crashed on Paradise Island. I need someone to recover an informational component from it. The Web is an Order-crafted network of information collection satellites. Our would-be Protectorate overlords squandered them as glorified surveillance devices. We actually implanted a back door in the Web to bring it back under our control, should a circumstance like this arise. But we did not foresee certain Protectorate modifications. But let's not speak of that. Find a way past the Protectorate at the crash site, collect the data, and return it here. Violence is likely, but perhaps you'll find an alternative. Only theoretically. The Protectorate guarding the site will be anything but welcoming. You'd likely need to find something, or someone, to wrest their attention away from you. I cannot say how that might be accomplished, unfortunately. Some of our scholars find answers to their solutions at the CAF integration point. Perhaps you might do the same. Collect the data from the crashed site and return it here. May the odds prevail against your bloody demise.
off there, Charles. That's your third conviction today. People will start to worry.
By a most capable and violent anomalous outlier.
Committing that crime really was squandering our goodwill.
For our benefit, allow me to disabuse your optimism. They worked alone. Their motives inscrutable. Hopefully reason will prevail. The only certainty we solve the universal equation, of course. Seers will adjust their forecasts as events unfold.
End message with an emphatic sign-off such as, "You'll never be sad when you have solutions." Apparently was a note to self, not to be read aloud.
Further beneficial content soon follows. The following song has been determined to...
Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be caffeine or convictions today?
Caffeine is proven to lead to many positive health and research outcomes.
On a scale of 1 to 100, how pleased are you with the garden in its current state? Please, try to capture your exact satisfaction to the nearest 10th integer.
100? Certainly. That's the right answer, isn't it? I can show my math if you need. I'd really love to stay.
Determining the remainder of your stay in Laplace's garden is not the purpose of this survey, but your unprompted insecurity has been noted.
You okay? Seem off by a few decimal points.
Please don't take me on a cotangent.
Welcome back. Changed your mind, invigorating your day with a conviction? Convictions are statements which promote personal and professional confidence and well-being, leading to 22.9% more scientific breakthroughs in a given quarter. Interested? Then let's have a gush. I haven't spied you around before. New project appointment? Must be an adjustment, all things considered. I see. And what lucky department have you been apportioned to? Surely it must be one of the big three. Earth Directorate? In Arcadia? That's rather anomalous. And I'd go as far as to say wholly unexpected. By all means, continue. I'm fascinated to learn the particulars of this little mission of yours. How noble and noteworthy. I was under the impression we had this well in hand, but I'm always happy to have my assumptions corrected. You know, I'm actually nearing the end of my shift. If you're amenable to continuing our chat somewhere more private, I think we could both benefit. Right this way.
Nique ta mère.
You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue a little further, shall I? I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. Why would the Order want to create a society of undistractable little academics whose only desire is to advance the plan? I wonder. Moderate your volume, please! No one here is in any immediate peril. Probably. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. Took you long enough to ask. I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? Nothing nefarious, if that's the needle in your conscience. We only mean to study the drug and consider all of its many applications. I know that must read as terribly vague to you, but I'm not at liberty to provide more detail than that. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, I wager Laureate Beckett also has a keycard on him, but that might be tricky to lift. Lately, he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly little breathing exercises. If he's not there, then he's likely in conference with the presiding bishop. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? One more thing before you leave. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier. And I'd like to offload some of this merchandise. Sounds like a win-win.
Nique ta mère.
Suffered extensive damage, Commander. We've got company, Commander, and friendly time.
Rats raring to go.
Capacitor unit away. Recharge before it discharges. Locking them down. Got a mean streak. My blood always crabby.
There you are.
Medics, please.
I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion web. Hopefully you shall facilitate that. Now, how might we be of use to one another? Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been! Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. Yes, you've earned not only my trust, but the Order's as well. I hope you'll continue working with us in the future. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this, but if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior.
Ah, there you are. I was informed by Gertie you've agreed to help us reconvene negotiations. With your aid, Auntie's Choice and the Order will soon be rivals no longer. Just think of all we can accomplish if our two sides reject fractiousness and combine our efforts. Remember, seek out ways to help both sides. Engender trust. Gertie and I will let you know when it's time to move forward. In the meantime, I might recommend you work on honing your oratory skills. Our presiding bishop and Auntie Cleo can be challenging to debate with.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart, a bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now, with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. As I told you in my message, a splinter group was responsible for recruiting your fellow agent and tasking her to perpetrate that heresy. The conviction of those radicals was such that they elected to perish from exposure to Cloister's wilderness to avoid fouling their predictions and my interference. Their interpretation of the data was at odds with mine. I forbade them taking action, to no avail, obviously. I disavowed their actions then, as I do now. A wise leader is always open to constructive criticism. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future.
BTDR? T'es qui?
My sensory deprivation chamber. I spend the majority of my days closed inside the silence, dulling myself against the tedious excesses of the body and mind. It's a rather personal apparatus, customized to my biological measurements. Would you ask to try on a stranger's undersuit? Perhaps you would. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. sorry to disappoint. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. I just received the most curious transmission from Auntie Cleo. She wishes to discuss a partnership of sorts, and I heard you were the source of this plot. I must admit I have significant doubts about colluding with an entity like Auntie's Choice. Why should the Order agree to even entertain the possibility? That was not my question. What is your envisioned outcome for this disputation? I doubt Auntie would see such parody as anything less than a loss, but I confess, I am curious to speak with her directly and hear her, what do they call it? Pitch. Auntie Cleo has already proposed a secure conference room on board the Undisputed Claim for our use. I will await your arrival there to mediate.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician.
Good condensate.
Heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it through artificial means. At Auntie's Choice, we strive to be 110% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Enjoy an artificial.
Here we go. Money talk.
Through conspicuous consumption of unavoidable embedded chemicals. With Auntie's Choice. An artificial life is a life that's sweeter.
A life that's sweeter with Auntie's choice.
Don't wait for a line to form in front of you. Availability is severely limited. Let this be the first courageous leap made towards your fresh, pioneering
Look who it is, the instigator of this little affair. Her mathematicalness should be along soon, unless the leader of the Order's too busy crunching numbers to attend to business.
There we are. Apologies for the delay. We were resolving some technical issues. Cloister's atmosphere has a tendency to...
Oh, yes. Regale us with a thorough account of Cloister's atmosphere. Spare no detail.
This must be Auntie Cleo's trademark wit. I expected better.
Don't take that tone with me, little Agent So-and-so. I've strip-mined the assets of tougher sorts than you for far less.
If I was discourteous, I apologize. So long as our mediator proves up to the task, surely we can remain civil. If not, these negotiations may prove short indeed.
From where I'm positioned, I sense 3 sore points still in need of massage. Point 1, control of the archive. Point 2, oversight of production and distribution of skip cores. And point 3, management of Rift technology.
If there is one subject at the forefront of my mind, it is the archive. Before we go any further, I want it in writing that the Order will take full control of the archive without interference from Auntie's choice.
What? So the Order can set it fruitlessly idling for another few centuries? We would put it to far more practical use. Imagine the marketing strategies it could develop.
I would sever my own hand before giving custody of the archive over to a corporation. Humanity's ascension depends on its calculations. No, such a condition is out of the question.
Amenable to that proposition. Less work on our part.
I'm waiting to hear an argument that would support such a ludicrous proposal.
No one said anything about paying, but, it would be a pittance compared to the future profits we might derive.
Involving money in science seems questionable, but having access to Auntie's resources would be useful for our research. Fine. Yes, I agree. Reluctantly.
Ruth, I commend you for being so receptive, and I assure you that Auntie's choice values science. Nothing bad has ever happened when science and commerce are combined.
On the subject of science, it would be most prudent for us to discuss who will be overseeing the management of skip drives, specifically the production of skip cores.
No one understands production like we do. Besides which, we have far more experience using skip drives. It was how we came to Arcadia, after all.
Where Auntie's choice manages, the Order would undoubtedly excel. Do not exclude us from consideration merely for lack of experience. So you ramp up production? And then what? Hand skip drives out for free to whoever wants one? Preposterous! And a waste of a perfectly good monopoly. We would be diligent about who we licensed out the skip drives to. And a monopoly over space travel is precisely what I wish to avoid. This technology should benefit all humanity. Correctly ascertained. I disagree completely. Just look at how well the Order protected its own assets. Remember Golden Ridge, the Archive? Besides, the Order will inevitably leave money on the table. Pull my other leg. If Auntie's Choice doesn't make a profit from it, I literally couldn't care less. Well, I never accept a deal I don't like, and frankly, you've been becoming a little too pertinacious for my liking. We can end these negotiations at any time, you know. It seems Auntie's Choice stands little to gain from them. Evidently, we have hit an impasse. Disappointing. But not outside the expected outcomes. And you have disappointed me immeasurably. Do not come to the Order with any further petitions. We are better off without an incompetent like you. I estimate this thriftless little misadventure has cost Aunties 100,000 bits for my time alone, besides spoiling a lucrative opportunity to do business with the Order. Seeing how you've proven yourself worthlessly incompetent at best, I have no further desire to work with you and recommend you vacate the ACS Undisputed Claim immediately.
Don't feel bad, Commander. Despite our best efforts, I'd estimated only an 11.7% chance of that working.
Nique ta mère.
It's the burning sensation on everyone's tongue.
Tramicular. Arriving any moment now. Approaching station. Value added Esplanade.
For the anti-Cleo's cleaved Spacer's chosen goalie at the end of the...
You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's Choice. Auntie's Choice knows that a better you is just 3 pills and an ointment away. Choose just any choice when you could choose Auntie's Choice.
Anti-Cleo without bubblegum split ale. Try Auntie's Choice pep pills. Good for one